Hello. Hopefully there are no technical difficulties this time and you can all hear me. Hello, hello everybody. I apologize for the coughing and for probably having a weird voice. I have finally caught COVID. Dungeons and Purpose. Yes, I waved back. I didn't see you, but I waved back. Uh, yeah, sorry about that. I have managed to escape COVID for the entire time, and this is my first time getting it. And yeah, that was. It has not been fun for the last couple of weeks, and I'm still in it. It has not yet subsided, unfortunately, but I'm feeling quite better. So, all right, let's get this started. Um, Welcome everybody. I'm Younes, the founder of The Forge, and we are going to have a fun and potentially long developer update for you this month. It has been just a little over 2 months since the last live stream, and I'll explain why in a minute. But first, I want to show you or point your attention towards these nice little Halloween decorations that we have on the website. You can enable them, disable them with this little button. We started that, I think, October 1st or something like that, at the beginning of October. They will be available throughout October, and once we're into November, we'll probably be removing those decorations from the website. They are disabled by default, so if you have not clicked on that little thing here and you like to have these, do so. Yeah, cute little spiders and some jack-o'-lanterns and webs. And you can, like, if the movement bothers you, you can always click on them to just, get away, get away, get away, get away. And they'll just stay at the top there. And yes, this is a sort of Easter egg where you can actually have their eyes popping out like this, which is fun. I like to do that personally. um, but yeah, so right. So it has been about 2 months since the last update. One big reason for that is that at the end of September, we had a break in work, and we did a meetup, a Forge getaway sort of thing. You could call that vacation for a big portion of the Forge staff. Not everyone was able to attend for various personal reasons or scheduling or whatever. But it was something that we offered to everybody in the company. And if you have not seen it, we did write a blog post about it. Blog post that was beautifully written by Yana, and you can see all of us having fun. We went to Punta Cana at a resort for 1 week where we got to meet each other and have fun, enjoy the sun, enjoy each other's company, create bonds, and I think that we all had a lot of fun during this this week we played volleyball, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, if you haven't seen this really cool blog post that explains a little bit about what happened and what we did there, I recommend you check it out. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, so that was something that we did from September 23rd to September 30th. So for a whole week, we were most of us unavailable, and because of that, a lot of the work that was ongoing had to be pushed back a little bit, and then as we came back home, we had to prepare for this big release that we had this morning. If you haven't seen it, it's filled with content, and then having our live stream for you all. So yeah, thank you, Yana, for posting that link in the chat, so you can all go and check it out. There's, let me see. Another really cool thing that we had is a little bit of merch. I'm not really into selling merchandise and all that, but we did have some merch that was for the people who went there, some of the staff and moderators also who even didn't go there. We have this really nice mug. Everybody seems to love the mug, especially our coffee drinkers. And if you haven't seen, I have a jacket. Let me just lower my desk to show you a little bit about that. A really nice jacket and a new Forge t-shirt. So you probably saw me. Usually I wear the green Forge t-shirt. This one is a little different in how the t-shirt appears. Trying to lower my desk. It's just says the Forge like that. And what else? Ooh, D&D population me. That's Kevin. Hey, Kevin. I hope you're doing good. Yeah. I do have some merch for you. Don't worry, Kevin. All right, let me switch my camera because I know NVIDIA Broadcast is gonna break this. Let's see if I can. There you go. Also, we had this really, really nice beach towel. It's too big to show, but yeah, you get the idea. You know the image. You can see it behind me on the screen. And that was our beach towel that everyone had, which was really fun because you're at the resort, everyone has the same blue towels from the hotel. Then you have a bunch of lounge chairs with all of the same Forge branded beach towels. All right, let me get my desk back to proper height. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. And I really loved seeing everybody and getting to connect with everyone. So I enjoyed that very, very much. And yeah, we came back and got back to work. And since the start of the month, we've been very, very hard at work in basically getting all of the half done features and bug fixes and everything, because we had a huge stack, or not stack, but like a huge backlog of content that was that just needed to be reviewed, QA tested, and everything just to get it out. And we needed to just make sure that everything was working properly. And that's what we concentrated on in the last few weeks, just to get all of these features out. And we did a really good job on that, and finally got the some of the features that we've been wanting to release for a while ready for release, which is what I did this morning. All right, so I apologize. All right, so if you have not seen the update, we pushed an update this morning that has quite a few features. One of them is um, a big update to the assets library. So if you have not seen that, and it's something that almost every live stream for the last few months had an update, improvements to the assets library, and we are at currently phase 5. I believe I mentioned that before. It's going to be in multiple phases. This was the culmination into phase 5, which added the ability to share a folder. So you can, share a folder uh, with anyone, read, write, and it's really, really cool. Let's say I want to share this one. I can just click this, and you get this share link. You don't have to work with API keys anymore, which is one of the biggest changes and one of the biggest improvements to the whole thing. We still show the API keys because a user may be logged out, or they may be want to synchronize their assets, or share, like synchronize a specific folder with their local Foundry. In that case, you would be using something like this. But otherwise, apologies. Otherwise, you just have these share links like that. And I could copy this, and let me just log in into a different account here on my other window, and I'll show you. So I can open that, and that tells me here you have added an API key named banners, which expires never, allows read-only access to the associated folder, etc. Now I have in the API key manager, you have what API keys have been shared with you and which ones you shared with other people, so you can have things like that. So if I was to copy this shared URL from my Curse of Strahd folder, which was already created on this account, right? And now I can basically add it onto this account, right? And so you have this here. I can switch folders. Let me just hide the Halloween decorations quickly. So now I can select what I want to display. Do I want to access my shared folder, my folder, my assets library, or do I want to access a shared folder that was shared with me? And I can access all of that straight from the Assets Library tab, but also within Foundry. So let me show you how you can do that from within Foundry. Let's say I'm going to my Foundry game, and I can go here. Ooh, there's stuff here. All right. I can do that and then select source. I can just switch from here. You don't need to copy, add, configure the Forge module, add an API key or anything like that. You can just follow those links and then switch to whatever shared folder you want to access. You have the ability as well to share in read-write, not just read-only. You can see that this one, I don't have write permissions to this folder, so I can't actually write to it. Otherwise, I would be able to upload content and do whatever I want into this folder, just as if it was my own, which is really, really cool. You can also share your entire assets library using the share button here, or well, actually it shares the current folder. So if I'm in my avatars here, for example, I would be sharing the avatars folder. But if I'm all the way here, I would be sharing my entire assets library. This button here is because you can't click a share folder on like the root folder basically for the entire assets library. And the nice thing is I can also see what folders I have shared. So if I was to, let's say, share a different one and I want to use read and write for this one and I want it to expire, let's say, in 1 hour, I can do that. And then let me see, I will add it here. I can go to my assets library here, and then I can switch to this folder here. which is the one that I just shared. And let's see if I can upload a file into this. What can I upload? Yeah, I have a module.json file here that I'm just uploading. There you go. And you see it's automatically selected. This is one of the improvements we did. But anyway, now if I go back here into my other accounts assets library, you see the file was added without issues. And so yeah, that's basically how it works. And you can click to switch to the various folders that were shared. You see when it expires, etc. And you can also just revoke access, which is something that has been asked of us quite a few times. People wanting to be able to revoke access to like specific people, for example, instead of resetting their entire assets API keys. So now you can do that like this, which is just makes it very, very easy. I'm very happy with this functionality. So let's see, what else can you do? I mean, this is something that I believe I showed about 4 months ago or something like that, in a different live stream, and it was kind of working, but it was very early stage. If you've been there through that live stream, and you saw that, I said it's alpha stage at this point. So yeah, it took a bit over 4 months of work to get it from working into actually ready for user consumption, and a lot of that has been not just the change of like adding the buttons here, the management here, refactoring the API key manager from the from your assets library, from your account page, so you can see the keys that were shared with you, as well as the keys that you have created, as well as the ability to switch from within the assets library here. This is something that was very last minute, not last minute, but I mean, that was kind of the last thing that we added to the feature list for this. There's just so many different bits of polish that were added into the assets library. Hello, there you go. I do not know why, but my headphones sometimes they just stop working because they don't hear anything, so they just go into power saving mode or something, so they just shut down. I apologize. So I was saying, lots of polishing, being able. So when you upload files, the upload process is going to be smoother. The files that were uploaded get automatically selected, so you don't have to, like, if you uploaded something by mistake, you can delete it immediately afterwards if needed. There's also, if you select multiple files, the way that they display here, the total size, how many folders have been selected, how many files have been selected, etc. So the display here is changed. It also changes the position of some of the buttons to be more intuitive and easier to access and things like that. So there's quite a bit of polish that went into this release. And if you look at the changelog that we posted in the forums, you'll get the full list. I believe, there was an issue that people had if they had a folder with many large videos. It would take a long time to display because it was trying to show a thumbnail of that image, of those videos. So now if the video is above a certain size, it doesn't try and do that. Searching within the library, if you were specifically one folder deep, was causing issues. That has been fixed. There was also an issue that if you select many files, it would sometimes cause Chrome to have a bug in the rendering, so it would kind of like start obstructing the image, and it was causing kind of like performance issues. So that has been fixed by changing the way that the selection works. Um, there's many small um, improvements like this, and I think you'll appreciate the Forge's assets library feature even more now. Um, moving on from this, just give me a second to drink. I'll drink using this. Um, one thing that forgot to mention is we now recommend Foundry V11. So this was 2 months ago, but that happened after our last live stream. So this is something that's worth mentioning as an update. But yeah, Foundry V11 has been we've been working on getting a V11 to work properly with the Forge and various different things that were needed to get the LevelDB database support, and Foundry itself needed to stabilize some of the bugs that they had introduced in V11. And in September 6th, we announced that we were officially supporting Foundry V11 as our recommended version. It took us a while to get to that point. It was a lot of work, and we were happy to finally have V11 as our recommended version. So if you have not done the upgrade yet, and you are interested in that, we recommend that people switch to V11. Another thing that I mentioned last time, but I believe it wasn't entirely confirmed yet, and it was confirmed just a couple of weeks after the last live stream, is the addition to our team of Rughold. I believe you will see him here, Anthony. So Rughold, if you don't know Rughold, he's the one behind Dragon's Horn Studios, making some great content that's available on the Bazaar. One of the earliest Foundry developers and producer of content for Foundry VTT, and he joined the Forges team, and he's been working with us now for almost 2 months now, I think. I think his start date might have been September 1st. So yeah, almost 2 months. And he's been doing some really great work. Very happy to have him on board. And he's going to be working primarily on the Bazaar improvements. So we've started already with some of those improvements, and we're having some more improvements that are coming for the creator dashboard specifically. One of the things I'm very excited about, and the assets library change that we did was a precursor for that. That was very important for us to get that out of the way. We wanted to be able to have asset packs for the creators that they could just upload them using an assets library view like this. And now with the ability to share specific folders and the ability to have the assets library work on a specific shared folder, etc., we'll be able to provide that ability to creators by just basically having them access to the folder of their own asset packs as if it was a shared folder, which is going to make it so much easier for them to just upload their packages instead of going through JSON files and zip uploads and things like that, which is currently how it works. And also another big improvement that I want to see for the creator dashboard is the ability to just drag and drop your zip file for your content and just have it upload. Here's my new version, basically, instead of having to go through a public manifest URL kind of thing. That is how we currently function, and I know that it will be a very welcome change for the Bazaar creators seeing that kind of improvement. So I'm very excited to see those implemented in the next few months. Um, Sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble with my COVID here. I also wanted to show something else, actually. I don't know if I had opened a window to that. I did, yes. So I showed just a few minutes ago. I don't remember where. Here, I showed the addition of Rughalt here. I want to show you a little sneak peek of one of the features that we're adding, which is a redesign of the about page. So now we have these sort of little character sheets for each of the staff members, and you'll be able to see um, uh, see it displayed in this way, which is going to be um, uh, a much better view of the team and who we are. And I think that this is nice, but very, very austere. So I'm excited to see this change into that. And while I'm in um, talking about the upcoming changes, this is one of the things I was hoping to get today, but I don't think it's quite yet ready fully. It has a little bit of issues on mobile, especially older iPhones, so we're still working on improving kind of the CSS and things like that to make it display properly for everybody. But there's something else that didn't make the cut for today's release. And I want to show you here so you can see next game session. So this is something that has been asked in the past for people to, can we just get access to the next session date within Foundry? And I didn't want to do that because I felt like it was not a useful feature because you had to set it every single time. Whereas the thing I wanted to have is this, being able to schedule it with a repetition that automatically changes your next session date. So you can have any game. You can set the date on it, the time, and then you can say, you know, this game will happen at this specific time. Or you can say it's weekly, or you can even say, you know, Sunday and Thursday, for example. It will automatically set it. And whenever, you know, it updates, not updates, but whenever that game session expires, we do give a grace period of 4 hours. So, you know, if you arrive at 8:30, it will still say the game started at 8 p.m. Right? If the game is set to start at 8 p.m., it's not going to reset the time immediately. So there's a 4-hour grace period for the time of the actual game, and then it will automatically update it for the next date that the game is supposed to be on. So this is really cool, and I'm happy to finally have this feature available to users. It will be sorry. It will be available as soon as we are ready to release that. It's not yet available. It didn't make it. It wasn't fully QA tested and fully code reviewed and considered, you know, working and stable and everything by the time we had the release for this morning. But I expect it to be probably within a week, maybe. I don't like giving estimates because things could always be you know, unexpected things, and I don't want to give a promise of a date and then we miss that deadline. But I expect probably maybe a week, maybe more. I don't know. We don't know yet what kind of issues is going to happen during QA that need to be fixed. But yeah, this is something really cool. I did see in the chat someone asking if a fortnight will be selectable. I assume you mean by that every 2 weeks or something like that. It's something that's currently missing, but yes, that was something that I also wanted to see because my own game was every 2 weeks. So it's definitely something that we know that users have that situation. And I think that with the repetition, currently it's just like this, but we should be able to also select the interval of, let's say, instead of weekly, you say every 2 or 3 weeks or every 4 weeks and things like that. For every month, it's a little more complicated. I don't want it to be a every month kind of thing, because when is it going to be? Is it the first of the month? Does that mean it's Monday this month and then it's going to be a Wednesday the next month? I don't know if games actually work that way. I don't believe anyone is scheduling on a specific date, rather than on a day of the week kind of thing. So I think if you're doing it every month, it's more likely to be every 4 weeks rather than on a specific day of every month. So yeah, it's not going to be something where you select on a monthly basis. We also consider things like every Halloween or something like that, and I think I don't want to do that either, because when are you going to plan for the next Halloween, like next year? It's more likely that you're going to just set up your game like a new game every year and just set your scheduled session for that specific game, instead of having it just automatically renew for the next year or something of that sort. But yeah, that's the an upcoming feature. I'm showing it because it was so close to being finished, and I think it's another really great improvement that's coming soon. So it's just a little sneak peek, that as well as the about page. But yeah, it's coming soon, and you can see then it just adds the next session here, like that. And that's about it for the preview. I'm going to close this and let me go back to my notes for what else do I have to show. But I need a little bit of water. I apologize. All right. So yeah, with these changes, you'll be able to finally vanquish the big bad evil enemy from tabletop RPG gaming, which is the scheduling of games. I can't guarantee that your players will be there on time, but you'll at least be able to say, you know, uh, to show them when the next session is going to be. Um, and yeah, you can also, like you saw, set it to not repeating. Repeat once, or weekly or daily. You can select all the dates, or specific days of the week, etc. All right. Another thing I just want to mention real quick about the game session. It was so complicated to get it right, and a lot of the work that has been spent was to get things to work, with regards to daylight savings, for example. We tested things like, if I'm on daylight savings, I set it to 8 p.m. and then my daylight savings changes, but it doesn't change for someone who's on Europe, because between Canada and Europe, there's a 1 week difference between when the daylight saving changes, and that works well. And then we always show the time based on the local time zone of the user, and we take into account DST changes and all sorts of things with regards to that. So that has been a little bit of a challenge. We use a library which has its own kind of quirks, but yeah, it should be as smooth as possible, hopefully. Another change that we did, I want to show you all, is, there's the thing. Yeah, the Bazaar support for D&D Beyond import. So let's say I want to import Baldur's Gate here. And so now the buttons are a little bit different, so I can choose to do it like this. And now you can see the list of tasks, and you can get a better feedback into what is currently happening, how far along you are in that import process. So that has been improved. You will also not have the prompt between do you want to import this as a world or a module if you're importing a rulebook. So if you're importing a rulebook, it doesn't make sense to import it as a world. So now it will automatically import it as a module for you. So that's one less step, and mostly um, it's a confusion kind of issue where users could easily be confused as to why do I need you know a world for this. So you see now I'm doing Dungeon Master's Guide. It's just automatically started to convert it once I approved um, the import. So this is one of the improvements for the D&D Beyond integration. We did that, as well as so many other polishing. We've changed the way that some of the premium content is uh, uh, sorry, I'm having a little bit of breathing issues. Um, uh, so yeah, we changed a little bit into how premium content gets migrated, so that um, we try and limit as much as possible the risks of having leftover files, or you install something like Kingmaker that was recently released, and you have files that are left over that haven't been migrated into the assets library. So you run out of quota on your storage quota, and if you have a game that has corrupted v11 databases, now we try and automatically repair those corruptions. The uh, um, the the actual installation of something like Kingmaker, which is 1.2 gigabyte in size, when it was just released, it's caused some issues to some users because it was so big, and so we also increased the padding that we give to a user's quota during installation of that premium content. We padded up to 3 gigabytes. That gives enough space for Foundry to download the zip file and extract it and everything, so that the package can be installed without running out of space, even if you don't have enough space for that. Because, like, for example, Kingmaker, even though it's 1.2 gigabytes, it's a fairly big uh, module. It actually only uses 6 megabytes in terms of compendiums. So once it gets installed, it uses all of that data, which is obviously going to be higher than most people's data storage. But then the Forge migrates that content to the assets library, and only 6 megabytes remain. So it shouldn't have a big impact on the user's quota. Another change is if you are inside of a game and you have a module that is broken, that has a bug, and gets into an infinite loop and starts abusing the Forge APIs. We've seen that with like multiple thousands of browse APIs on the assets library. They are just trying to browse and get the list of files, but they're doing it thousands of times per second for hours on end. Now the user is going to get a notification about a module is broken and currently abusing the API. And apart from that, let me see. Oh yeah, big change as well to the import wizard. This was the last item of our UI that was still using the old handlebars framework. So now it has been moved to Vue, which will make it a bit more dynamic and better, and works better. I'm actually starting to have a bit of trouble breathing, so I need to blow my nose. So I apologize for that. And I'm just going to mute myself and hide the camera while I blow my nose, because I don't think anybody wants to see that. So give me a second, everybody. I am back. All right, so I'm breathing a little bit easier now. So if I wanted to, let's say, do an import um, with the import wizard, uh, the process is going to be looking a little bit different. Um, this is just assets. Let me see if I can actually import. Um, yeah, so I have here a export of. Whoops, nope. Drag and drop is here. Doesn't work. Okay. Give me a second. Pause this file. There you go. So now you see. So instead of the 4 squares, you get an actual list of like a linear. Actually, let me see if I can drop. I'm just gonna build a new zip file to show you what I mean. I think that's gonna make it a bit easier. Right. If I go again, select analyze. So there. So now you can see the list of modules and you see the worlds and you can select. So if I had multiple worlds, I would be able to see all of them and select which ones I want to import. And then if I do the import, you'll see the the actual process changing as well, with regards to how the progress bars are being displayed and how the import of the worlds, etc. Um, so it's there you go. One of those installed from the Bazaar. So it's a little bit of a different UI. And the import wizard was one of the very first things I wrote for the Forge. I think I did the ability to launch Foundry, and then the import wizard to import your content, and then I did the login page basically to allow people to sign up and log in into the Forge, and that was all before I announced publicly that the Forge existed as a project. So this was very, very old code, one of the very first one written, and it has gotten its facelift and modernized the interface as well as the framework being used has been updated. So this is really cool. Very happy with that. What else did I want to show? Um, Wizard. Oh yeah, if you go to the Bazaar now, let me just close all of these things here. If I go to the Bazaar, you'll see that you'll be able to see package recommendations, and you'll see also tags on marketplace content. So let me see if I can. Maybe not that. Oh, something I actually wanted to mention. Is you can go to the culture tag, special events, and you have Halloween tag. So I recommend using the Halloween tag if you want to see the content that's currently marked for Halloween. And yeah, so this is what I wanted to show, kind of being able to see the tags that a package has. And you can click on them, which will change the search. It currently doesn't automatically close. So if I click here, you see it changes in the background, but it doesn't close this. So that's something that's coming soon in an update. Um, Same thing with packages that have dependencies. So I don't know, Dungeon Master Guide. No, let me see. Instead, the Forge Compendium Library. I know that one has dependencies. So yeah, now you can see. Oh, you get the tags here. You also see required packages, and sometimes some packages, some modules will have recommended packages. So you'll also be able to see the recommendations that the module has, and be able to basically just click it and see those recommendations automatically, which is a nice little quality of life improvements here. And finally, I want to mention our blog. So I already showed you the Journey Beyond Imagination, our trip to Punta Cana last month. Again, recommend reading through that if you want to see some cool pictures as well. And we also have our newest installments of the Stars of the VTT Galaxy, where we released that a couple of weeks ago. An interview with Sven Verlin, also known as Dorgan Dubal, who is the developer of the Moulinet Foundry modules. So highly recommend reading that. It's pretty cool. And if you don't know about Moulinet, definitely check it out. It's a really great module. And as I'm having difficulty continuing to talk, and I believe also that was the end of my list of changes and things worthy of mention, I will pass the microphone to Destiny, who will be doing our Bazaar showcase. If you want to enter our giveaway, as we always do, we have a $20 gift card for the Forge as a giveaway that you can participate in. The keyword is hashtag Halloween. So if you do hashtag Halloween in the chat, you'll be entered into our giveaway. I'm going to announce that. and there's Destiny. I'm just gonna switch my OBS stream to the Discord scene and watch the stream. There you go.
All right, let's begin. So today we'll be showcasing 3 Bazaar packages and 1 free package. I will go ahead and copy and paste them all into Discord right now. I mean, Twitch, sorry. There we go. And we'll start off with Abysmal Bosses Volume 2 by Dumb Human Drawn. We've shown off his content before, and it always pleases me to be able to showcase it. I mean, it's these tokens, to be clear. I mean, look at these odious tokens. They're so gross and gnarly, and they animate some very cool looking monsters. We've got this zombie demon guy with the ugly tail and the rotting flesh. Gosh, the flesh is gruesome. You can see the intestines pouring out. You can see a deep, evil necromantic wand of some kind. And you've got all these different kinds of stuff here that you can make for your and show for your players. I mean, if I saw this in a Halloween game, like I'd be like, can we like turn around and leave? It's just so gruesome, and it truly is like abysmal. And it's an asset package, so the moment you buy it and enable it, it just shows up in your Foundry VTT world. I mean, let's go ahead and like this is like all the options here. And it even comes with this nice little like alternatives to the wand, these undead archers here, and even some arms when you need to give your players a hand. Get it, boss?
That was very bad. I apologize everyone for the joke. That was very bad.
Oh man. I loved that joke. Okay. So next. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, laughs. Yes, please laugh, chat. It's all I have. Anyway.
Ha
Next.
ha 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 ha.
Next, we'll move on to this. So you might have noticed this hastily assembled a room here. This is actually made with an asset package I bought. Well, not bought, I enabled from the bazaar for this showcase. And oh yeah, before I forget, last package only $4.99. You should definitely get it. And for this one, this is a haunted player home tile asset package by Vic Nadell. I threw this together in only a few minutes with the pre-made tiles and assets present here. You can actually highlight all of them and see, oh wow, look at this. And let's go ahead and just right click it all and lock it into place so I don't accidentally move it. You can see that I put down a window which is letting in some ghastly light, and I put a pumpkin under it, so it's got that nice little 3D effect. I've got another pumpkin just outside the effect. I've got this tiger skin rug that's just being warmed by the gentle fireplace, a chair, a cobweb that I've made transparent, and even a nice little staircase leading up, and even a doorway. All this is from a single asset package called the Haunted Player Home Tiles by Vic Nadell. Now, obviously, it's not put together perfectly, but there's modules that you can install that do let you create maps more quickly in Foundry VTT. And you can also import this asset package into your favorite map maker of choice. It comes with this nice little haunted little banshee token if you want to throw it in there quickly as a boss. I know a lot of GMs, especially the ones coming over from VTTs like Roll20, are used to making maps on the fly, and asset packages like these help you make your maps on the fly. There's these handy tiles here for the base structure stuff, and then there's all these nice props for beds and chairs and a piano. I mean, you can always use a new piano on a map, you know. And I
Only
just
if you
really like
drop it on your enemies.
I like Vic Nadell stuff in general, and I like the spooky props he has here. And he's selling 2 Halloween packages that he submitted this month on the bazaar. They complement each other pretty well. I'd recommend checking them both out, and I would especially recommend checking this one out. It's only $4.99 on the marketplace. Another really cheap package. Of course, sometimes you need a pre-made map, and that's where Dead For You Media comes in. He makes asset packages, usually of maps. We'll just take a second to load in here, and you'll see I've thrown down 2 of them quickly. Here's a pumpkin patch one he made. You've got some nice spooky barns and like what appears to be a house here with a pumpkin patch outside. It's perfect for when your players are coming in and you want to like begin forecasting a sort of spooky kind of area. Maybe you've got like a secret tunnel going underneath, and then like they go underneath and they come across this horrible like little area, some sinister orange glowing. Maybe the great pumpkin is about to emerge from like the depths, and your players has to fight the great pumpkin. Well, that's where this comes in. As we can see here, he has quite a few different maps in the asset package. Here, let's go ahead and check out this nice little great pumpkin one. Maybe it might take a second to update. There we go. Maybe the whole patch is becoming a great pumpkin boss. Like the whole map is a boss your players have to fight. I think that's just a really cool transformation you could do. And it's available for you to set up for your own pumpkin-y moods, and it's only $5.99 on the marketplace. Now, I wanted to show off one final module, and it's by someone a little familiar. It's called Monk's Sound Enhancements by Iron Monk. Audio lovers in the chat are definitely going to love this one. So it's free.
Who is that? Iron Monk?
Oh,
I feel like I heard the name before.
I'm glad you asked. So he's a big module developer in the Foundry VTT community. He has a whole enhancement set of modules, just so many of them, and he works for the Forge. That's right.
Oh,
He's
right.
one of
That's where I
ours.
heard about him.
Yep.
It's funny that you're showing this module because I believe just a couple of hours ago someone was asking about a feature that that module was providing for them, just in the Forge Discord.
It's a very handy module. I can't believe I've never heard of it because I'm definitely installing it in all of my game worlds. So it does a few things. For instance, if you use a lot of music, you might forget which tracks are which. I've imported a music package we showed off last live stream, and I can go ahead and click on edit playlist and then go to sounds, and I can preview what the sounds are, what the songs sound like, without it playing for my players. I could do this if I want to take out certain sounds, or if I want to like try to remember which track it was that I was supposed to play at this section, because I'm really bad at taking down that kind of note. And it can be really weird for your players if you have to stop a session to like play 3 or 4 songs in a row before you remember which darn one was the combat music, especially if you're using like the original sounds, like the original names from a playlist instead of like what you would set it for, which I do a lot. I'll download a lot of movie or video game soundtracks that I'll buy, and then I'll forget which I was supposed to use for this section. So my players just have to go through like the jarring, ominous music, and like the action music, and then I'll get to like the ambient music I meant to play. So this module is kind of perfect for it. It's also good, like you can use it to import from a compendium, right? So like I can pop this up, and then I can like choose which ones I want to import. So like, let's go ahead and delete this playlist. Delete. And and then go ahead and
The import button
import.
is there. You go.
There we go. This NedRaptor, this is Monk's sound enhancements. I'll go ahead and link it again. Again, it is free, entirely free. And Iron Monk is pretty cool. He works for us. And this is all it can do, by the way. You can, let's go ahead and go back to the haunted house. You can go ahead and set tokens to make sounds. So I can set an NPC to have a sound, and then I can go ahead and just click on the sound and set one. So for instance, I can go into the Forge assets, and then I can go into, like, say, audio assets, and then I can choose this one, save the sound, and now when I right click, I can go ahead and
Okay.
play the bass.
Bob is very loud.
Yes. And it's just, I'm sure you can imagine a lot of cases where that'll be handy. Yeah. I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
chat, but not really. But like, say you want to give like werewolves a howling sound, or you want to give like I don't know, maybe you have a demon and you can have it playing like a horrible ambient sound effect that'll just continue for a minute or two. Like, it's just handy for stuff like that.
And
You can
every
also
NPC saying that they got an arrow in the knee.
exactly, or
Right.
like say you've given like Bob like a weapon, like maybe he has a stereo.
Okay, stop that.
You can also give items sound effects. Yay!
Something
So
else that I believe it does, which is what the user earlier today was asking about, was the ability to create a playlist from a folder in the assets library. It just imports all the sounds from that folder and creates a playlist with all of that content.
I was under the impression that was a vanilla feature, boss. I thought that was something they added in a recent Foundry update, like V10 or V11.
That's possible. I don't know, but I know the user was asking about it, and a different user suggested Monk's sound enhancements
Yeah.
as the solution for it.
And also, it does even more stuff. Like, here, we can go into the settings here, but like, for instance, you can play the actor sound when it's their turn in combat. Now, for these sounds I've set up, that might not be such a good idea. But if you want to give like a boss like some kind of like ominous sound or some kind of quick sound bite that isn't too annoying to hear over and over again. Yeah, exactly. Like like maybe you're fighting Ryu and you want to just have the entire Evo Moment 37 playing.
Right.
I don't think so, NedRaptor, but that's a good idea. I've always wanted to have playlists be a little more modular, but yeah. So you can see you can set actor sound effects to be NPCs or none or everyone. And so like you can stop your players from adding sound effects if you don't want them to be annoying, basically.
That sounds like a good feature request.
And it also
if it
helps.
doesn't support it.
And it also helps make default hide names so you can automatically obscure playlist sounds. So if you don't want to spoil things for your players, that I'm a big on preventing metagaming in my games. So the mole work peasant folk. Yes, yes. Just oh my gosh, pick the worst RTS sound effects and just add them to your players. Oh man, oh, the horrible audio noise you can make out of your games with this module. Yes. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show off. This module particularly excited me, and I can't recommend checking out enough. And definitely, if you want to put together a spooky game, check out the asset packages that I've shown off today. That'll be it from me. Thanks for having me for the Bazaar Showcase, boss.
Thank you, thank you. Let's switch back to the actual Q&A mode. But we do have a giveaway. So I don't know if everybody entered their themselves into the giveaway. If you have not yet, just type hashtag Halloween into the chat to be entered into our $20 gift card giveaway. And you can use the gift card for either your subscription or to purchase content from the bazaar. So yeah, I see some late entrants. So there you go. Make sure everybody has entered into the draw, and I will actually let me just switch to this so you can see. All right, everyone ready? I think that we have everybody, so let's draw Dungeons and Bourbons. One of the late entrants too. Congratulations on on the $20 gift card within the giveaway. So Destiny will contact you with the claim link for your $20 gift card, and you'll be able to enjoy that for subscription or Bazaar content if you want to buy the amazing modules that were showcased today or anything else. And yeah, congrats. All right. Yes, you're the one that I waved to. All right. Now we will switch to the Q&A mode. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will try to answer everybody until no more questions or until I am too tired to continue. So there you go. Does anybody have any questions about the Forge, about the update that we just did, or about anything else? Feel free to ask. We need Alaric. He always had a long list of really cool questions prepared. Haven't seen him in a little while though. I should rest instead of doing Q&A. True. I'll probably not do a long Q&A. I was able to rest a little bit during the Bazaar showcase at least. But yeah, I mean, if nobody has questions, we'll just cut it short and that's it. But I'm okay to continue for a little bit more. Questions. No. Not a question. The Asus changes are amazing. Thank you. It's been in the works for a long time. I'm very happy to see all of these improvements, slowly taking shape. And we still have a few more changes that are coming. And I can't wait for us to just be done with the assets library as a whole and then moving on to even more work into other areas that we've been working on, but at the same time, but at a slower pace because of all the various, um, priorities. Dungeons and Bourbons. Only question I would have is the asset sharing. Do you have to have one folder shared with you to see that drop-down list to swap between the two? Yes. The drop-down button would not show if there's only one option in the drop-down. So when someone shares a folder with you, you would be able to to uh, to see that button appear and then list all of the shared folders. From Jubal Roll, how often do you go through code to refine it instead of adding features? Oh, that's a good question. Um, we don't necessarily go through the code to refine it, but it's more about either bug fixes, bug reports that people are reporting to us, or ourselves as we do various features. We know that there are things that could be improved, so we'll go back to them. Also have features that we want to add. So it's a really hard question because we don't really have like a formula on how to go about it. I think it's more about a case-by-case basis on where are the various priorities where we want to spend our time and what we want to improve. Bug fixes are generally a priority automatically. And then there are sometimes things where to do a bug fix or to add a feature, we realize that the current code base is not good enough and we need to rewrite it, and that's when we're going to be doing a refinement, like with the import wizard that we had to rewrite from handlebars into view components, and that will also unlock things like being able to access the import wizard from the bazaar itself or things like that. So it's really on a case-by-case basis. Leg 2 question, who won the volleyball match? I don't know if someone specifically won, but I think Yana takes the trophy. She got a nickname of the monster because of how competitive she was, and it was a lot of fun. We mostly, well, it depends. Like initially, we started playing cooperative because we didn't have enough players. So it was really just cooperative, where the purpose was to get the highest number of the ball going across without falling to the water. Then we got into a good group with other people from the resort who joined us. Don't be ashamed, Yana. You have to accept your monster side. Um, and so yeah, then when we started playing competitive, we had a few different matches. I don't really remember who won at that point. And then at one point it was, I think there were like 20, 25 people, and it became chaos, and it was a lot of fun with like all sorts of different people joining us. And at that point, I don't know who won. I think it was just pure chaos. A lot of fun, but pure chaos. Yeah, we played the volleyball for a few different days. What are some of your favorite cocktails or drinks? One that I discovered was called Banana Mama, which was fun. Usually Mojito is nice. Cuba Libre, I like that as well. Yeah. But yeah, I like generally cocktails that would be more on the sweet side, because I really dislike the taste of alcohol. So even if I take a cocktail, I'll ask for just like a very small amount of alcohol instead of the regular. Otherwise, it's just too strong. I hate it. I don't like the taste of alcohol. So if it's something where you can't taste the alcohol, then it's better for me. Favorite soft drink? It's not gonna be Coke. My favorite soft drink would either be root beer or Schweppes tonic. I like tonic. It has a weird taste, and I like that. Same thing with root beer, but not all root beers. A lot of them are kind of not that good. But the one from like A&W, which is a Canadian restaurant chain here, I like their root beer. Favorite tea or coffee? I don't drink tea. I don't drink coffee. I don't like either. Tea is just water that you put grass into it, and I don't get the appeal at all. And coffee, I drank very strong, very strong coffee by mistake when I was 6 years old, and I thought it was Coca-Cola, and I just one shot drank it, and that traumatized me for all eternity. I don't get anywhere near coffee. I don't like even the smell of coffee. So there you go. Lectu, what is it that you agree with? That it tastes weird, or Zlatan? Yeah, the British. I know that British people love their tea. Moroccan people also. Like people tell me I'm not a real Moroccan because I don't like tea, and I'm like, okay, I don't mind that. Oh, tea is grass in water. Yeah, yeah, you agree with that. It is a very accurate description. Destiny, I don't have bad taste in drinks. I disagree with that statement. The drinks are just bad. Anyway. Do you prefer lemonade or something else for an everyday drink? For an everyday drink, I just drink water. I prefer water. I'm not really a soda person. I'm not really a lemonade or soft drink kind of person. I just prefer to have my water in my water bottle. That's what I like to drink. Yeah, I was wondering, the Q&A session just turned into personal preferences about uh, drinks and cocktails and stuff like that. Favorite programming language? I would say C. Yana, that's a great question, and you need to post the link for that so other people understand what that Reebok or Nike question is. Um, my personal favorite language would be C, because it's just so low level and you have full control over everything. Once you understand pointers and memory management and all of that, then it's great. In terms of higher level languages, like scripted languages, I probably would have said Python a few years ago. Now I'm mostly just working with JavaScript. So usually I feel like your favorite programming language is the one that you used most recently. So it just changes every time as you get used to a different programming language and you get more familiar with it, it becomes more of a favorite. Yeah, that's I would say JavaScript is. I wouldn't say it's my favorite because there's so many different issues with it, but I've learned to love it basically. I'm not a fan of Lisp or Haskell. I don't remember how they are called, but they have a specific name for the way that it's I don't remember, but when you have the function name always as the first thing in the line. But yeah, use the right language for the job when you can. Right? Yes, absolutely. Some will make more sense than others based on the job. Like I don't know if I would want to program in C again, but it would still be my favorite. Just not keen on using it necessarily because of the extra workload that you need to keep in mind. I know that a lot of people are praising Go and Rust. I have not looked at them. I know that, you know, there are improvements and all of things like that, but I've never had the opportunity to actually um, work with them, so I don't know them. But I know that they are technically better and more popular in recent days. Max microcode. I wouldn't say that, Zlatan. I like to do assembly, disassembly of code and just looking at assembly. But it's not a programming language. I don't think that counts. Window blinds, yes. That's CSS. And no, I don't like it. I do not like that at all. How can you like something that you can't understand? That is humanly impossible to understand, would be more accurate. Elect 2, yes, it's confirmed. You are weird. If you like CSS, then yes. Any other questions that don't relate to drinks? Yeah, all right. If there aren't any other questions, then yes, I will go to rest. But yeah, it was fun. And I apologize for, you know, my nose getting stuffed all of a sudden in the middle of the thing and then having difficulty talking, breathing, all that. But I think it went well. And there was a lot to showcase today, and I'm very happy with the update. It went very smoothly, and yeah, just want to give huge praise to the entire team. Lots of work that was done. They really pulled through, and I just want to congratulate everybody on the work that they've done to, you know, clean up and clear our PR backlog. And the QA work was phenomenal, and just making sure that everything was well tested and well taken care of and ready for release. So yeah, big applause for the team. And that's how I'm gonna end it. All right. Well, thank you everybody. Have a great day and enjoy the update and enjoy your games. Thanks. Take care. Bye bye. And I'll have Destiny post our social media links because everybody needs to know about social media and follow and all of that. And before I go, I will leave you with fight goblins, not servers. All right? Cheers.